Modelstein here. It is great to be here once again on Wednesday Night Live. I missed being here last week, but it would seem that a certain individual here decided he would skip town on us. But that is okay. As I am sure Brandon will be talking about in just a few minutes, there have been so many new model kit releases that have shown up. Everybody in the warehouse has been working to get all of your pre-orders packed up and shipped out, so you should be receiving your new kits very soon. Last time we spoke, I asked if you had reserved your hotel room for Nationals yet. So I will ask again, have you? I sure hope so, because it is going to be a fantastic show, and I hope to see you there. We have been working around the clock, it would seem, to make sure to have as much as we possibly can available in person for you to look at, shop through, and hopefully carry back home with you. From our convention exclusives that you know about, to the few surprise releases, to the literally thousands of models kits and thousands of accessories we are bringing with us, I feel certain that you will find something, or perhaps multiple somethings, that you just can't live without. I want to thank all of our Eagle Club members for the orders for the convention exclusives. As you probably know by now, Eagle Club members got the first shot at buying the convention exclusives this week, and based on how the Eagle Club members gobbled them up, we know that these kits are going to be sellouts at the show. Make sure to listen up for Brandon's announcement tonight about how you can buy these kits even if you aren't going to the show. And if you are not an Eagle Club member, well, I guess I won't take up any more time and go ahead and end my transmission. I will talk to you next time.
Hey guys, how are you tonight? I hate to start the show this way, but Mr. Tamiya was certainly one of the most instrumental people in our hobby, for us at Squadron, in our industry, in our business, for all of us model builders. We always say you can't go wrong with a Tamiya kit, and it was because of this man that we have all these great kits. He lived a very long life. As you can see, they were born back in 1934, but he did pass away this week, and I'm sure you've seen this all over the Facebook and all the other model forums and groups out there. Everybody, of course, is talking about this. He will greatly be missed in our hobby, and not just in the hobby, but his friends and family, of course, as well. But I just wanted to let you know that, in case you did not know, that Mr. Tamiya has passed away. But it is good to be back here with you guys. Of course, I was gone last week. As Dr. Modelstein says, I skipped town, but I think it was for a good reason. I met my wife back in 2009, I believe it was. And a few years later, we got married. So we were celebrating 10 years of being married last week, and we decided that we would take the opportunity to go on a trip. Yeah, we we actually got married. It was 10 years ago in our hobby store, believe that or not. And sometime I don't have the pictures ready, but sometime I'll show you what I mean, because you might think that I'm crazy, and my wife thinks I'm crazy maybe, but it was actually when we had just built our free time hobby store before we moved any models in there. We had this big wide open canvas, so we turned it into a wedding. But that was 10 years ago, and there we are. We went on a cruise last week. So if anybody was wondering where I went, there you go. Now you know. I was off goofing off, if you will. But we had a great time, and now it's back to the real world, back to work. And buddy, let me tell you what, we have got the goods for you this week. We've been talking every week, it seems, for the past several weeks, past couple few months, about just log jams in the logistical world, with shipping, with customs, tariffs slowing things down, all these things that have just been delaying our getting new kits and restocks. And all that, at least for this week, it would seem, has come to an end, because since the last time I was with you 2 weeks ago here on Wednesday night, we have received 3 containers, countless semi truckloads, and of course the normal UPS and FedEx and all that kind of fun stuff too. We've got shipments everywhere, and it's it's a, I don't know. It is what it is. It's nice, but it's got us really backed up at the same time. But I've got a lot of kits here. Months ago, I used to start the show every night, and I would show you some of the new kits, because we were always getting new stuff in. Hadn't been able to do that in a while, because we haven't really got a lot of new stuff. But I noticed here over in the live chat, and I'll go ahead and say hello to everybody. Hey, Jeff and Joseph and David. This is the one I wanted to get to, asking about the F-35C. So Tamiya has, as some of you may know, and if you don't know, you're about to know, Tamiya USA has official release dates. Not very many manufacturers in our industry have official release dates for things. You see, this is very common in the video game world. For example, there'll be a new game and it comes out on this day, and you cannot get it before that day. Tamiya does this sort of thing, right? At least Tamiya USA. And the F-35C in 72 scale and their 35th scale M36, they are set to release this coming Friday, July 25th. They are here. We have them. So David and everybody else that's been waiting on this 72 scale F-35C, they do exist. We have them in stock. We're preparing to get those out. And on Friday, July 25th, we will ship the pre-orders, and these will be available for purchase in our store here in Ringgold outside of Chattanooga. So those do exist. And while we're talking about Tamiya, see, can't go a show without talking about Tamiya, I'm telling you. Here's the M36. So they are here. They exist. We got a bunch of them, and again, just like the F-35s, these will be headed out to you guys who pre-ordered them on Friday the 25th. They'll be available for purchase in our store, and it's just really good. There's a big restock of Tamiya that came in. I don't know if it's been uploaded to the website yet. We've got so many things. I don't really know. I'm still playing catch up from being gone last week, so forgive me. But as we go through tonight, I'll show you some of these other kits that we've got, because chances are some of you guys may end up asking about these. So we'll wait until you do for me to show them to you. Let's see. Yeah, and Russ is over here on my messenger reminding me that that's not just a USA release, that is a worldwide release. So I guess I misspoke there. Worldwide release this coming Friday. So that's great. Danny, good to see you tonight, buddy. And Tom's with us. And he says, any word on the Airfix B24D? Okay, the Airfix kit and the B24D is certainly one of the most requested of their new kits, but they've got a handful of other new kits. They've got some of their space ships, the Artemis, and a couple others. There's a new ferry Gannet. There's a few other Airfix kits, but of course this B24D is probably the most sought after of their next batch. And unfortunately, I did not get those this week, and they are still in transit. I don't know. They're supposed to be here, I think, sometime in August. But at this point, we have this. I don't want to call it a bad habit, but it is what it is. We have this thing we do where we base here at Squadron, we base releases and timing around model shows. I don't know why, but we do. So right now we're basing everything that's coming, that's new announcements. We're basing all these things around nationals, which of course is in 2 weeks from tonight. Yeah, 2 weeks from right now, we'll be sitting in nationals up in Virginia, and we'll be hosting this show from the Nationals, so that'll be cool. But anyway, I don't think the Airfix shipment is going to make it for Nationals. I really don't. I will be very surprised if it does. It'll be a very welcome thing, but I don't think it'll happen. But hopefully we will see those, Tom, in August, and I'm excited about it. Their first release, B-24, that came out, I guess it was sometime last year at this point. It was super nice kit, so I'm excited for the D. And Danny, talking about washing parts. Yeah, if you guys have joined us over on our private Facebook group, if you hadn't, please go do that. It's the Squadron Scale Modelers group. Anyway, y'all, we're talking about washing parts or not this week. And Jeff will be joining me here in a few moments. And when he does, we'll come back to this, Danny. If we forget, drop it down in the chat and we'll talk about this, because that'll be a fun topic to talk about. Let's see, Tom talking about some paint. Looks like Jeff's already in the room, and he was talking back to you on that. So might bring that up here in a few minutes when Jeff joins us. Kimberly, good to see you tonight. I'm sorry you're dealing with a lot of rain. For once, we are not dealing with a lot of rain, just a lot of heat. And JL, good to see you tonight, buddy. And Derek's in here with us. Thank you for the birthday wishes. A lot of you guys were just telling me happy birthday on our Facebook group. I appreciate that. I really do. You can't hide anything anymore these days, right? It's like I woke up and it's my birthday, and then all of a sudden, all these people, whether it was you guys or family that I hadn't talked to in forever, or a couple of my buddies from when I was a kid, it's like all of a sudden everybody's telling you happy birthday. You can't hide anything anymore. Everybody knows everything about you, it seems, but it's not a bad thing when people are telling you happy birthday, right? Wayne, it's good to see you tonight. And Jay Banks is with us. Good to see you. Let's see, Wayne up at Yellow Wings Decals has got 4 large projects he's working on. That'll be exciting. Of course, the Yellow Wings decals, I think that we might have a restock of those in the works. If not, I know that Russ was talking about it, so that'll be coming down the line. Biddle Boy, good to see you tonight, buddy. Looking through another Osprey book. That's great. Let's see. Arnell's good to see you, buddy. Mark is here. H3 models restock. So we have a lot of restocks in the works, H3 being one of them. But as far as when exactly that's going to be here, there's Russ again on the messenger. He says H3 actually just arrived today. So there you go. We just got a restock of H3 today. Based on how much stuff is laying around the warehouse at the moment, it may take us a few days, perhaps, to get them sorted out and get them added to the website. But hopefully that machine gunner that you're looking for is a part of that restock. I know it's a pretty massive order. We were stocking up for nationals for sure on that. So hopefully we've got what you're looking for. Bill, good to see you tonight, buddy. Watching the show and building. Let us know in the chat down there what you're working on tonight. What are you building? That's great to see you. Miami Dolphins, good to see you. Right down the road in Atlanta. Rex is with us tonight. And Jason, how are you, buddy? Yeah, we missed you this past Monday night. So any of you guys that are close to us, and I guess close to us is a relative thing, because we've got a lot of guys coming up from Atlanta, down from Knoxville and Nashville, coming to our local IPMS clubs meetings that we have. So we host our local club every third Monday of the month at 6 o'clock here at Squadron. And at 4 o'clock, from 4 to 6, we open up the whole warehouse. We have an open house. The club is going to start bringing models in to do group builds, just do a little bit of extra hanging out a couple of hours before the actual meeting starts. So any third Monday of the month, if you have the ability to come join us, starting at 4 o'clock, you can walk through the warehouse, do some shopping, do some hanging out. We do 6 o'clock is when we do our meeting. And then after the meeting wraps up, several of the guys go out to eat together at one of the restaurants here close to us. So keep that in mind. And Jason, yeah, we did miss you Monday night, but we look forward to seeing you at the next one. Chris, good evening to you too, my friend. Let's see. So Miami, I think this is a good time to bring Jeff in. I see he just got to the back. How are you, buddy?
Oh, sure. Just leave me out there until you need me for something.
That's what I do, right? Well, it's funny because I was talking to another gentleman today via email, and he was asking if we were going to be doing any colors that he could use for Star Wars models. Of course, we've done the Star Trek stuff. We're still working on more Star Trek stuff, but he was asking about Star Wars, and of course, Miami is here too. If I can pull this up real quick, we have been talking about for the past several weeks that we were going to be soon adding to the website. We're going to update this paint list to be the full paint list. And we have done that. So I'll pull this up, and it's one page, and scroll over, and poof, you get the front and the back now. So this is all 440 colors.
Oh, you're giving away something.
Yeah, I'm giving it away. We'll talk about it in a minute. Yeah, down in the bottom right.
Yeah.
But Miami, specifically, what you're asking for, we really don't like people telling us that we can't say certain things. So instead of saying Star Wars, we simply decided to say Space Wars. Sounds a little goofy, but it keeps us out of trouble.
Keeps the lawyers off our backs.
Exactly. So these colors here, there are however many that is, 20 something. These, and Jeff can speak a little bit more knowledgeably about this, but these colors are actually matched to Flocal train model colors, and Jeff can tell you why real quick.
So in 1976, when Industrial Light and Magic started working on the models for the Star Wars movies, their model department basically was in a bit of a quandary. So they ran around to all of the hobby shops, and they bought up tons and tons of kits and cannibalized them for parts. And the only paint line that was readily available to them at the time was Testors, and remember that Testors back then were the little 29-cent square bottles.
Yep.
But the Flocal lacquer line, and specifically their model railroad colors. So ILM had a couple of different Flocal paint racks, and most of the colors that they used on the Star Wars vehicles were Flocal model railroad colors. So what I started doing very early on, I wanted to eventually get into sci-fi colors, and of course you've kind of expedited that process. But I started doing research on what Flocal colors were used, and this is a compilation of all of the Flocal model railroad colors that were used. There are a couple of colors that are not like out of the bottle Flocal colors, and the TIE Fighter color is actually one of them. It's a color that has been named elusive seas or
Stormy Seas
or something like that. And that's actually an ILM. To my understanding, that's an ILM name. They named it this color.
Well, and you got to figure that to come up with those, they probably took two flocal colors and mixed them together,
Mixed
or
them
three,
together.
or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we have done is we have matched to the known flocal colors wherever possible by using actual flocal paint. I still have Model Railroad flocal lacquer bottles that are 40 years old in my stash. Paint a color swatch and then match it with the new formula.
Yeah, I think, Jeff, I'm pretty sure that accounts for all but three of the colors.
Yeah.
The early TIE Fighter, the late TIE Fighter, and the AT-ST are the only three that I believe are not exact flocal matches.
Correct.
Yep.
So everything else is everything else is matched right off the original colors. Now, and here's where science fiction stuff kind of gets, and if you've read Gary Kerr's article, thank you for reading my mind, because I was slipping there. If you've read Gary Kerr's article on the Star Trek, the USS or Starship Enterprise, what each and every one of us sees on the television is different, because you have a different television than I do, and different color settings and all of those things. So some of us see them as gray, some of us see it as blue, some of us see it with a green tint, some of us see it with so the beauty of doing sci-fi colors is that what you eventually do with the model itself is entirely up to you. If you want to make it look like the studio model, or if you want to make it look like how it appeared on the screen, that's your prerogative. All these colors do is give you the baseline with the same tones that ILM used in the 70s.
Well, I think we might have an expert in the house, Jeff. At least his name would lead us to believe that, the Rebel Alliance. So he mentions that Episode 4, the original Star Wars, and then Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi have different TIE Fighter colors, and that's what I was referring to as early TIE Fighter and late TIE Fighter.
Yeah.
So
A New Hope used Star Wars Gray 8, Space Wars Gray 8. I'm sorry, which I believe is a flocal haze gray, if I'm not mistaken. And then Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi use Space Wars Gray 9 on their TIE fighters.
8, 9, and 1 are the three that were not exact matches, but I think 1 was the one of the TIE fighters. We've been staring at these numbers so long, and that I'm going to move into this next thing. Conversion chart, which flocal color is which? Yeah, we've got these things named gray 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yeah, we've got them all. It's all in a spreadsheet, and all that information of which color equals which flocal. Again, guys, we get a lot of eyeballs on our website, as you can imagine, and we actually have received cease and desist letters numerous times, and we don't like them. So we go to extra extents to not get C&Ds from anybody. So if that means not marketing something as a flocal color or not marketing something as a Star Wars color, that's kind of, you look at this list and you're like, this is silly. Why not just call it what it is? We're just trying to make sure we don't have to change things in the future.
Legally, can't call it what it is.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll have all these colors listed on the website, the squadroncolors.com website, as which one equals which, which one of those reds is caboose red, which one of them is, we'll have all that. We got the light reefer gray, the dark reefer gray, they're all in there. And I don't remember which one is which right here off the top of my head, but we'll have that information in there. And Rick was asking the same question. Yeah, we'll get all that. We are on track. We hope, we think, Crystal is knocking it out of the park. We're on track to have all these colors at nationals. We're working on it. So as soon as we get those in there, we will, of course, get all the information up on the website shortly after we start having them.
I had another conversation today about matching our colors to Tamiya or Dragon color mixes.
Okay.
And I'll kind of reiterate it again, that if Tamiya says you mix 2 parts of XF22 and 2 parts of XF51 together, and it gives you a specific color, on that color call out, that's their guesstimate as to what that color is supposed to be.
And more specifically, it's the closest they can get you to that color using their proprietary brand of paint.
Absolutely.
Tamiya is not going to tell you to use Vallejo.
No.
So they're gonna get you as close as they can get you.
So what we have done, and what I have been doing over the years, is instead of, and the first thing that I tell people is take the color callouts that are in the kit instructions and throw them out the window, because 99.9% of the time there's something wrong with them. So what we are doing, and what we have done by putting the historical color names on these paint colors, it kind of requires the modeler to do a little research. And now with AI and Google the way it is, you can go into Google and say, what color was the Luftwaffe day fighter scheme for 1943 and 44? And it'll tell you need RLM 74, 75, and 76. And then you look at our site, and there you go. There's 74, 75, 76, and there's your colors. It's impossible, I think, for us to do a chart that would say that our RLM 74 equates to 2 parts of this and 2 parts of that, and a partridge in a pear tree. Obviously, we can reference other color manufacturers that actually do historical subjects, but why would we do that?
Yeah.
RLM
this is RLM this. So
correct. Absolutely.
And a lot of it, like Jeff just said, and I'll what's that term you use, Jeff? Segue into another comment here.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon Miller is asking, have I done the comparison between the USS Montana kits yet? You probably know where I'm going with this now, Jeff. We don't have enough time in the day to do everything that we would love to do. So, no. I mean, as cool as it would be to have this massive conversion chart with every possible known, it's just not going to happen. So we don't want to tell people that it's going to happen. I mean, what we're trying to do, like Jeff said, for the moment, is just get these colors done and offer them. And, we know that if you need RLM 8020, the Africa color, we can give that to you. But as far as if Tamiya says you got to mix this, and this to get to that color, we don't have enough time to figure all those mixes, because it's not just Tamiya. There's Tamiya and Vallejo and MiG and AK, and it just goes on and on and on and on. So,
and Gunzi, and
yeah, I mean, there's so many. So,
and if you buy a kit from Airfix or from the EU, then you have proprietary mixes and Humbrol callouts. Yeah.
So for now, what we're going to try to focus on, of course, is getting the 440 colors finished in to where you guys can buy them and use them, and use those historical colors best we can. So, hey, look, Rick's here. How are you, Rick? Wayne, good to see you. Ken's with us, and Bernard, and Dave's with us. How are you, buddy? Jim says he got his Takeo kit. So, Jeff, I know you haven't had a chance to look at this Takeo kit yet from Verifier, but it's pretty nice. They kind of knocked it out of the park with it. But what are you saying? You really want one? I can't tell if you're actually talking or because you're muted. For a second, I thought you were just mouthing that you really want one.
Am I better there?
Yeah, there you are.
Now, there we go. Okay. Yeah, the dog was barking, so I hit the mute button, and then I didn't remember how many times I clicked it. I have 2 of the Takao kits here from Aoshima Ironclad, and even some of my hardcore ship buddies have said, if you've got them, get rid of them and get the new one. And the Aoshima kits are not bad kits by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, no.
But I've been hearing nothing but absolutely amazing things pertaining to this Verifier kit.
It's really nice. So I'm happy to have them. I did not bring one of those to show you. I didn't even think about it. But as long as we're talking about new ship models, I got a stack of models here, so I got to show you guys these. So if we're going to talk about ships, check out this.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, USS San Diego finally here.
Yep.
Now, if any of you guys have been following ship models for the past few years, you might be wondering what the heck is this? And honestly, the name brand I have not learned yet. Aotori, maybe? Aotori Bunka. Aotori Bunka. It's a Japanese brand. They teamed up with Zimi models, which you've probably been seeing Zimi float around a little bit. They're the company that bought up Kitty Hawk, and they bought up Panda models. And the reason that they have this model is that he used to work at Verifier, and he's the one that kind of headed up the USS Atlanta class project. And when he left Verifier, he brought this kit with him, and it's his kit. So he rebranded it. So what was going to be the Verifier San Diego and what was the Verifier USS Atlanta is now, I got to look at it again, Aotori Bunka. So there you go. This is the basic version. I believe there will be a deluxe version. A lot of people have asked me this. Will we get them? I honestly don't know. I would like to think so, but the tariffs on these things are going up yet again to a new number that supposedly is going to be where it stays, at least for a while. And I don't know. But we do have the basic one. I don't have a lot of these. I've got a handful of them. So if you want a San Diego, grab them. I'll have a few of them with us at Nationals. If we're going to talk about 350 ships, this is a weird one and a little one. How about a 350 scale HMS Lord Clive?
Oh, monitor.
Yeah, little bitty old gunboat. Now look at that. So this is Hobby Boss. Hobby Boss and Trumpeter, they're the same company, or they come out of the same factory, however you want to say it. But they always throw the really weird, wacky subjects over to the Hobby Boss brand. And I mean, it's a cool ship, but this is definitely not a mainstream ship.
No.
So.
Well, they were the monitors, and the Royal Navy was famous for them. With Roberts and Abercrombie and Clive, they were basically paper battleships.
Right.
They had battleship-sized guns.
Yeah.
And no armor, no protection. They were not a fighting vessel. They were designed strictly for coastal artillery and shelling.
It's basically a floating turret.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's neat.
And they were slow, and they couldn't get out of their own way, and some of them actually had to be towed into position. They were, as Ron said, they were used for harbor defense.
Okay.
They were used in World War I. So, a lot of really esoteric subjects are starting to reach the forefront now, because everyone has kind of covered pretty much all of the major players insofar as popular ship kits, at least from a business perspective of being able to sell, 5,000, 10,000 copies.
Tons and tons and tons. Yeah.
Going back to San Diego, though, I'll jump in real quick. I noticed from the box art, if you want to show the box art again. Yeah. San Diego.
Let me answer Danny real quick, because it's going to be fast before I pull him down, because I'll forget to pull it back up now that I've pulled it up. Danny, I don't know of any other I mean, I'm sure we'll see some more, but I don't know of any at the moment that are coming out. He's talking about big 35th scale turrets. But all right, back to the San Diego.
If you notice, San Diego is wearing a dazzle pattern. So this would imply that there have been changes to this tooling that reflect the ship in its late 43 to 1944 configuration. So we're probably going to see the 1.1 millimeter anti-aircraft guns that were on Atlanta and Juneau,
Right.
replaced with 40 millimeters.
Yeah, and I won't do it now live because it'll be loud and
Yeah,
I'll
and I think she had a different bridge configuration
yeah.
too.
I know that there are different sprues in this kit. I just don't know. I haven't
Yep.
got. I mean, I just looked at it. And if you're wondering about this girl on the front, it's a Japanese anime thing, and there's nothing to do with her in the kit other than the kit includes this acrylic stand with a little cartoon of her, I guess. So, I guess you can. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I mean, I assume it's from a TV show, an anime show, or something. If somebody in the chat knows what it's from,
Well, you know what's
throw it in there.
funny is that I predominantly build 32nd scale, and
Okay.
and SWS Zukamura always release two different versions of the kit of whatever kit they release, and one of
Okay.
them is always tied into some anime.
Oh,
And if you're smart, the kit that they market to guys like us is, you know, 149.95, and the kit that they market to the anime crowd is 129.95, and it's the same kit.
it's
You
the
just
same kit. Yeah.
and then you get the extra anime stuff, which I know
That
nothing
anime
about it.
stuff, it's big over there. I mean, it's
Yep.
it's getting bigger here too. But staying on the subject of ship models for a moment, I guess while we're on the ship bandwagon, we'll stay on the ship bandwagon. I got two or three more to show you, but these are back in stock. This isn't
Yay.
new. We've had them before, but 200 scale Fletchers, for all you guys that missed out on the first round, they are back, and we got a bunch of them. We'll have these at Nationals. We got them in stock for shipping now, so that's cool. Going down much smaller, this is cool. 700 scale Flyhawks Enterprise
Oh,
has shown up in both flavors, the standard and the deluxe, with all the photo etch goodies that you can see there, photo etch stuff, 3D printed stuff, brass barrels. But yeah, those are finally here. Those got announced a long time ago. I wasn't really sure if we were going to get them. We didn't get a whole ton of them. When I left the shop today, I think we were already down to less than a dozen of them. So grab them fast if you want them. But those
and
did finally come in.
those are the 42 Battle of Midway version.
Yep. They are. I think that's it for my ship model. No, there's one more. I guess we can classify this as a ship model. So this is really cool. It's been a long time coming. This is from Doll and Hobby, and this is their C Lab. So this was way back in the day. Aurora did a C Lab. And I hesitate to say this is the old Aurora kit because it's not. The original C Lab from Aurora, the tooling for that is gone. It no longer exists. But Steve over at Doll and Hobby, he really wanted to put one of these out. And so they actually got copies of the original kit. And, I don't know exactly what all they did to do this, but basically they created an all new tooling. They designed all new tooling based on the original kit. I believe they took a few, a little bit of artistic license to improve the fit of some of the pieces and that sort of thing. But from what I understand with Steve, they stayed as true to the original design as possible. So this is just really neat. He's been working on it a while, and they're finally in stock, and they are ready to ship. We'll have these at the show. We've got them ready to ship now. So very cool, interesting model. A little bit different than what we're used to talking about, I guess you could say. Let's see, what else do we have? I got so much stuff. Let me look through the chat a little bit more. I don't want to leave anybody out. See, this is what happens when I take a week off from the Wednesday night show. We end up having a ton of stuff. So let's see, Fletcher class. Jeff, take that one. I haven't looked in the kit as much as you have.
Ed Grun beat me to it.
Okay, good.
The 200 scale Tamiya Fletcher, or I'm sorry, the 200 scale Trumpeter Fletcher is you can. Jim has said 445 to 448. You can actually build the first 10 ships in the class from that kit.
Gotcha.
but it's early war round bridge as commissioned.
Good deal. All right. I'm jumping all over the place in the chat now, guys. So if I didn't greet you and say hello, forgive me. I apologize. But hello to everybody else that I did not personally pull up on the screen. But let's see. Yeah, Gary's asking, are there any other family members? I don't really know. He was 90 years old, so I know he was still involved with the company, and I think to a pretty good degree, but I got to figure as big of a company as that is, he probably had, several people doing the bulk of the work. But I don't want to act like I know how their business runs, but
I read
it would
today.
be interesting to know.
I read today that his granddaughter's husband is now slated to take over the company.
Okay. Yeah, for anybody that missed the beginning of this show tonight, Mr. Tamiya passed away this week. That's what, Tom, that's what we're talking about now. So, let's see. Yeah, Michael says his first kits were Tamiya. It would be hard to believe if any of us in this room tonight haven't built a Tamiya kit or at least bought a Tamiya kit, or if at least wanted to buy a Tamiya kit, right? We all know Tamiya for sure. Yeah, there you go. You got some Tamiya right behind you.
I did this today in as a little bit of a tribute.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, as I said, I build 350th and I build 32nd scale and 35th scale armor and of course the occasional Group C car.
Right.
They were so, and they continue to be. They are so prolific across the board with their subject matter, and everything they do is just engineered beyond.
Oh yeah. Well, here we go. We're going to talk about them again because Chili Billy wants to know what decals are in the F-35C. So according to the box, and of course I haven't even taken the shrink wrap off of this yet, it looks like you've got VMFA 251 Thunderbolts. So there's that. And on the other side, two more options, the VFA 97 Warhawks and VMFA, I'm having to move this shrink wrap, 311, the Tomcats. So according to the outside of the box, you've got three different marking options in there. So there we go. Jeff, this Edward P40 that came out, the E that they did, they're following up with an N. And
Yes.
Those are actually supposed to be in stock at Nationals. We will have ours either the week before or the week after, just depends on shipping. But this is going to be a pretty good kit. A lot of people have really been looking forward to this N version. What do you, if you're a P40 guy, and I know you like P40s, you like the N's, you like the E's? I mean, what do you get out of this stuff?
It's really kind of strange. If you ask me that question with any other aircraft, I can give you a specific variant that is my personal favorite.
Right.
So, if you say Focke-Wulf 190, I say D9. If you say P51, I say D. If you say P47, I say D25. P40s across the board. I think that I don't know. Are you allowed to say that they are a sexy airplane?
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's the B model. It doesn't even matter if it was the prototype.
Right.
All the way through. And then in the N model, obviously they stretched the fuselage a little bit. And it kind of balanced it out. But P40s are just a pretty airplane no matter what. And the simple fact that they were flown by so many different countries, and saw so much frontline service throughout the entire war. Everyone thinks that, when the P47s and the P51s came around, that everybody threw away their P40s. The Australians, the New Zealanders, South Africa, everyone, British, were continuing to fly P40s,
right,
all the way through. Some will argue that, the B and C models that were flown by Chenault's Flying Tigers were the most, the most recognized. Some will say, RAF, Kitty Hawks or War Hawks in desert, North Africa desert were the most popular. Everyone's got their own, subjective preferences, but
Oh yeah.
the shape of the airplane, there's just something about it.
Oh yeah. Well, and it makes for doing a good model too because of that big canvas for decals. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with it. Well, let's look at some of these other models, and then of course I got to talk about our convention exclusives in a minute. I just remembered about it because Jason asked here, can we get a what's in the box for our Razorback convention exclusives? So
I got one right here.
Yeah, we're working on that, Jason. We're not going to post any of that stuff until next week. But it's coming. But we'll talk about those in a minute. I know that one of the reasons a lot of you might be here tonight, you're looking forward to finding out how you can buy one of these if you're not going to be at the show and if you're not a part of our Eagle Club. The Eagle Club members, they got a chance to buy that earlier this week, and they took very good advantage of it. So a lot of those are already gone, but that's good. This is cool, Jeff. This is from Border Models, brand new. It's a PAC 40, a 75 millimeter anti-tank gun. Very interesting for Border, and I only say that because this is the smallest kit that they've done.
Right.
All their stuff that they've been doing lately is, bigger boxes. So they're branching out a little bit. It's very cool. Staying with Border and moving to a completely different genre. That's their smallest box they've done. This is a rather large box. This is a 1/12 scale figure. They call it a Hell Knight. Now, my brother, this is kind of his thing, right? And he informed me today, and I didn't know this, but Border Models is the company that does all the Red Alert tanks and stuff.
Yep.
So I guess trying to do like us and steer clear of the license companies out there. Apparently, this is modeled after a figure from World of Warcraft.
Okay.
So, yeah, Jared said
you
it's not.
Didn't hear that from us.
No, you didn't hear that from us. But apparently, and I haven't played that game. I'm familiar with it, but Jared said it's not exactly, but it's that flavor. So if you're into that kind of thing, this is, like I said, a 1/12 scale figure, pre-painted, posable, kind of like their Tesla Trooper they did. But yeah, there you go. The Hell Knight from Border Models. Interesting and very different.
Might have to look into that one.
Just neat.
As a palate cleanser,
Oh yeah, I mean it's a nice, fun, quick, easy build. So, Recon's asking about the bigger bottles of paints. Like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago now, we do have some larger bottles coming that are quite large. But keep in mind, and please keep this in mind, we are only doing a handful of colors, and the colors that we're doing for now are based on some of the top selling colors. So we may or may not have your color that you want in the larger, and if not, sorry about that. We might add more colors to this later, but they're going to be pretty expensive bottles of paint. So we're doing some, like this one I'm holding in my hand is Norfolk 65A. So if you're a ship modeler and you do a lot of full hull ships, you need this. But I think, I forget how many, we got half a dozen to 10 maybe different colors we're doing, but we'll have those announced soon. We're hoping to have them at the Nationals with us, but more information on that soon.
Right.
Let's see, Red Lag was asking about that C-Lab. Yeah, it's not a repop. It is an all new tool based on the original. Benjamin, the Edward stuff, the reboxes. So Edward's been doing a lot of reboxes with HK models. Particularly interesting was their Bloody 100th B-17, and it went really well for them. And I think they've got a good relationship with HK models now. So yeah, they're talking about doing Lancasters, doing more B-25s, but I don't have any information regarding those as far as a release date or anything yet. Oh yeah,
Arizona iced tea. Didn't want anybody to think I was hitting the sauce.
Oh, I thought you were holding it up because it was Arizona, because Edward did an Arizona Reeboks a few years ago.
Yep.
Since we're talking about Reeboxes. Let's see. Craig. Yeah, Craig got a good look at Gary's write-up about the Enterprise spaceship paint. That's good. Okay. Way back when we started this tonight, I asked Bill what he was working on tonight. He's working on a Midway. So that's awesome. That'll be good to see. We're almost down here to the bottom of the chat. Then I'm going to show you guys the rest of this stuff. David wants to know, are we going to have any of the new 32 scale kits from ICM? And yes, we are. We've got a bunch of ICM stuff. And I don't want to make a big deal of this, but we did just find out that Valeria is unfortunately not going to be joining us at Nationals this year. She joined us last year. She was intending on coming this year, but travel plans just are not working out in her favor at the moment. So she decided that she's just going to wait and try again next year. So, but we're still going to have a ton of her stuff. Just that came in this week, we got their gangster car, which I think this is really cool. It's got the guns, everything. That's neat. We've got, what else do I have from her? The new Marines version of the Bronco. Those are here. And, of course, their newest version of the B-26, which is the F variant. Is that all the ice? Oh, they're 217K, one. Those are here. And of course, my favorite, our exclusive version of the B-26. We'll talk about those in just a minute. So that's here. A new brand for us, a new brand for everybody, really. This is their first release. UMA Models has done a Harrier 2. This is the U.S. version, the Marines version, and it's just I know nothing about the brand yet other than it's brand new. We've been talking with them, working with them, but just at first glance, it looks really nice. So more to come on what this is and what's included and the quality. I mean, like I said, at first glance, it looks great. So hope you guys are going to check that out. At long last, we finally have Model Collect's A12 Avengers, and we've got two versions of it, and they call this the which one is which? Yeah, this is the Tomcatters, and then they also have the Air Force version, and they've already announced a couple other boxings of this. One of them that I thought was really cool that I saw was a Jolly Rogers decal marking, so they're going to be continuing that. Model Collect, their Fist of War series, they do all that kind of what if stuff, prototype stuff. Very neat. Staying with aircraft and in 40. Hey, I told you I had a bunch of stuff to show off tonight, Jeff. This is and this isn't even all of it. I got home and I'm like, wow, I forgot that. So there's a new Schiffer book, a nose art book. I wanted to bring one of those. I forgot it. That thing it's like this thick. It's massive. Well worth the money on that one. But Trumpeter has done their AH-64A Apache in 48th scale. So this is, they got a bunch of this. They started doing a lot of helicopters in 35th scale, but now we're going to start seeing them in 48th scale, apparently.
It's an interesting release.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's cool. Now, let's shift gears. I think I'm almost to the end of it. I got one more brand to talk about. Let's shift gears over to X Plus. So they have reissued a couple of kits. One of their earlier kits, the Maria from the Metropolis movie, they have reissued this. It is the seated version, but it's
nice.
plated. They released these. The original one was plated in gold, and then they did it plated in silver.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they did a seated one plated in silver, but they never did the seated one in gold. So now you get the seated one in gold. So that's available now. They reissued their what is it, the beast from 1,000 fathoms or 10,000 fathoms or whatever it is, the lighthouse dinosaur creature thing, the Rhedosaurus as they call it. So they have reissued this, but if you know the original release, this is an all new box art, which I think looks really cool. So those, I don't have that particular box art version up on the website yet. We didn't get a lot of these because we still had some of the other ones, and I didn't realize it was going to have a new box. So we're going to take those to Nationals if you want to pick one of those up. And then finally from X Plus, and this actually is a new release. Well, it's kind of a new release. It's a second variant of something they'd already done. This is Gamera from the 1996 series or movie or whatever. And what's interesting, I didn't know anything about this until we started carrying these kits, but if you know anything about Gamera in that series, it's basically, I guess, and I might be saying this totally wrong, but it's like the competition to the Godzilla series.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, his bad guy, or one of them, is this dude in the back called Legion. And Legion is quite massive, and they are actually doing a Legion model kit that is going to be one of their next future releases. So if you are interested in the Gamera series, pick this one up. We don't have many, and then you'll be able to pick up Legion at some point, hopefully in the near future. So there you go. Now, jumping back over here to the website.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Brandon. We did lose Brandon. And I hope he comes back within the next few seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do a song and dance routine.
Well, I went to hit the back.
Now we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? How about now?
Now we can hear you.
I went to hit the back button and I did it in the wrong browser.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is the back button I was trying to hit and take you over here. If you click on the new arrivals from this week, correct, there are, let's see, 250 per page, and there are 4 pages. So
1,000.
When I said that we got a lot of stuff, now a lot of this may not be new. Some of it's just restock of things that we haven't had in a long time. I mean, all this IBG stuff, we've been out of that, waiting on it for so long. But new trumpeter stuff, 35th scale half track. This is cool. 16 scale leopard.
Oh,
yeah, that's a big boy. So those are in stock. Just all sorts of stuff. So just go through the new magazines. We got, of course, you know, so far we can't go a Wednesday night without having some new paint color ready. The Tackham Shermans are here, just all sorts of stuff. So check this page out, the new releases. And let's talk about this real quick since we were talking here.
Yeah, because you've got me really nervous, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You got me really nervous. You said something to me before we went on that just kind of hit me in the head with a hammer. Do you even remember what it was?
Nope, man, we got so much stuff going on tonight.
You said to me, you know, we're going to have 1,000 colors when we're done. Oh. And I'm thinking,
not tonight. Don't worry. That's not tonight. No. So here in this bottom right here, you notice pigments.
Yes.
And this is something that you used to be a part of Scale Colors.
This started the whole mess.
It started the whole thing. Okay, but you didn't call it Scale Colors. What did you call it?
Back in the day, it was War Pigs.
War Pigs. Okay.
It was War Pigs. And the premise was pigments for military models. So gotcha. War plus pigs being short for pigments.
There you go.
And of course, and again, we lost him this week as well. But you know, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's song "War Pigs" was always one of my favorites. So it was kind of a slight homage to him, hoping that his lawyers didn't see it and send me a C&D.
Well, your logo was a pig wearing a helmet.
It was a pig wearing a German World War I helmet with the little spike on the top. So Yeah. So yeah, War Pigs actually started this whole mess.
Well, this is War Pigs 2.0, if you will, and it's just going to be called. It's under the Squadron Colors banner, but it's just pigments, and we've got 48 different shades that we'll have. These are going to. I'm going to go big real quick. These are going to come in bottles or jars, rather, like this.
Yep.
So it'll say pigments on the top, then on the bottom it'll tell you which color you're looking at and barcode and all the useful information. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, this is one of the black ones, and I don't even know what these are, but yeah, this is what we're looking at with all these different pigments. So let's see if I can get Jeff back on here. But yeah, 48 different colors. We, like a lot of other things, are going to be premiering these at the Nationals, and then they will be available on the website in the days and weeks after Nationals. But we got that. And by the way, if you guys didn't notice, this flip page that I've got here is now live on the website. So on the front page of the website at squadron.com, over here on the left, Squadron Colors, click here to see full paint list chart. That's it. Just do that, and then you use your little scroll mouse to go to the next page. So there you go. That's all the colors we have. Yeah, just lots of stuff. So Jeff, let's talk about these convention exclusives real quick. Everybody, well, I say everybody knows. By this time, most of you guys probably know about these. We've been promoting them a little bit. But what we're going to do, of course, anybody who's a member of our Eagle Club, you guys got to buy these this week. And I appreciate that. I know you guys appreciated that. You don't have to worry about it. You know you're getting them. And we're going to ship these out to the Eagle Club members the end of next week before we leave. That way you get them when the show starts next Wednesday or 2 Wednesdays from now. Now, they are convention exclusives available at the show, but like I've mentioned before, I don't want to leave you guys out. Every Wednesday night, we really enjoy doing this. Some of you guys have been watching us and hanging out with us for almost 2 years now since we started this Wednesday night. Back when we had 5 or 10 of us hanging out every Wednesday night, and I mean we got 190 people right now. So I really appreciate you guys, and I don't want to leave you out. I know that some of you, it's just not in the cards to get to the show. As much as I would love for you to be there with us, I just know it's not possible sometimes. So what we're going to do is the Wednesday night the show starts, which is in 2 weeks from right now. We are at some point during the live stream. I don't know if the live stream is going to last 30 minutes. I don't know if it's going to last 2 hours. I don't know. It depends on where we're allowed to do the stream from. I just don't know these things yet, but we're going to stream somewhere, somehow, for some amount of time.
Well, we know somebody, I think, that we can.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
we're connected. We know a few people.
We're going to work it out. I'm not worried about it. We're going to work it out. But until we get there, we won't know the exact specifics of where we can do this. But at some point during that show, we're going to open up these items, both of them, the P-47 and the B-26. We're going to open them up for sale on the website to everybody. It is possible that we will have it limited to a certain amount. I don't know, because I don't know how many we're going to sell Wednesday at 1 o'clock when the show starts. I mean, theoretically, if we sell out at 1 o'clock, then this isn't going to happen. But I believe we have enough of them to where that's not going to happen. So they will go on sale at 1 o'clock to the guys at the show. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to stream. We're going to give you an update of the show. We're going to show you the booth. It may be a pre-recorded. I don't know. It may be. I'm going to take some pre-recordings of the booth during the day, just in case we can't be in there at 9 o'clock. So we're going to do all that stuff. We're going to hang out. And then at some point, we're going to open it up on the website, and you're going to have, I don't know, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes window of opportunity to go in there and place your order for these items, just like you would place an order for anything else. So between now and then, decide what you want. make sure you got your credit card ready, your PayPal loaded up, whatever it is, because it's going to be a very short window and potentially a limited quantity. I will not know that until that day. And be here at 9 o'clock that night, because a lot of time, we got there's 195 people right now. But during that 5-minute countdown, sometimes it takes 15, 20 minutes for everybody to get in. So we're going to wait till I feel like enough people are in here. We're going to flip it on the website, let you guys pick these things up, and then we'll ship them to you as soon as we get back from the shop. And that is, we're doing it at the show because that's our way of saying, hey, we're here at the show. We're your buddies. We're going to get these for you, and we'll bring them back home with us, and we'll ship them to you when we get there. So that's what we want to do. If you're interested in taking us up on this, I would ask you, if you would, please, to go over to the website, and if you're interested in the P47, click on the P47, and please put your email in this box. Just put your email in the box and click notify me. And then if you also want the B26, go do the same thing on the B26 if you would. And what this is going to do, this is going to tell us approximately how many of you guys are interested in these, because we really do have a limited amount. I mean, what we have is what we have. There is no going back to the well on these. And we got some logistical stuff to figure out. And I just want to make sure that everybody is set. If you understand what if you're picking up what I'm laying down. So go do that. If you don't mind, that'll give us a little bit of information that we can use. And yeah, we're pretty excited about it. I'm got something I'm holding in my hand here playing with, and I realized we haven't talked about this yet. And Jeff, this is another one of your inventions that I think is great, and yet another thing we will be premiering at the show, and that are these little guys. You want to tell us about these and give us a little info about what these crazy looking little things are? It's going to make a lot of sense when he tells you what they are, but
okay. So back when I was doing SC3D tracks by myself, I had a phone call from a guy, and he said, I need you to send me like 20 track links. Can you do that? I really don't want to buy another whole set of tracks. I said, yeah, sure. What, do you need them for spare links, to hang on the turrets or something like that? He said, no, I built the model and I was putting it on the diorama base. And he said, I wanted to make tread marks in the diorama base, and I pushed too hard and I broke the tracks. So he was pressing his model down into the diorama base to make the tank track marks. Say that 5 times fast. And he broke the tracks. So I said, sure, no problem. I sent him off the tracks. He was a happy customer. And then I started thinking, So what I did was I made a roller that has the track patterns. So instead of using your model and running the risk of breaking it, whatever medium you're using for your diorama base, your roadway or your ground, whatever, you roll the tank track for the corresponding. So these are done in the individual rollers. And then you have interchangeable. This one is for a Sherman T41. So if you're building something without a T41, and there's a little rubber O-ring, and then a lock nut. So you put it on and you lock it, you turn it, and it catches a cam, and you've got the ability to make your track marks in your groundwork without risking damaging your model.
All right. So what are we going to offer, Jeff? We're going to offer this by itself, right? A handle.
Yep, the handle by itself with the little rubber
handle.
O-ring.
And then what are we going to do? We're going to sell these individually. And
okay, now at Nationals, we will have 15 different varieties of track rollers.
Okay. Yeah. So Tigers, Panthers. Okay.
Sherman, a bunch of different versions of Sherman tracks, T34, KV1, ISU, JSU series,
Nice.
Panther, Tiger, King Tiger. Trying to think if there's any others, but
A bunch of them. Well, that's
a bunch of them.
And these are 35th scale, right?
Correct.
Okay. And I
There's-
guess we'll see how they go. I guess the sky's the limit on doing other sizes. Yep. We'll see how they go.
Yeah, if there's enough demand for them, in 48th and 72, I will scale them down and we'll do a set for smaller
nice.
tracks. I'm also wanting to do, and I just haven't gotten around to it because
You don't say.
but I want to do like deuce and a half and Jeep treads, so tires for for.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Russell just asked.
That up.
Yep.
Oh, and while I got Russell on the screen, you asked about the toolboxes on the back of the Panther. I'm not quite sure what you're getting at, but if you're asking about how they were hinged on the outside and opened they open this way on the back of the vehicle. They do not open this way. I don't know if that's what you're asking me, but hit me up afterwards, and if you need photos, I'll provide you some photo references. So,
all right.
Track rollers. Yes, we will have those. Because there are modelers who only build German stuff, we're not going to do a set that has just, everything in it.
Yeah, CS is asking about planes. I mean, just like the paint, once we open this can of worms, the sky's the limit. I mean, theoretically, we could do this we could do it for street cars and off-road trucks and motorcycles. I mean, really, the sky's the limit. So we're going to start with the 15 or 20 or whatever it is of these, and see how it goes. And if you guys dig this stuff and eat it up, we'll just add to the line as time permits.
And I intend to add more of these individual bits as I get time, but we also have to remember that, I have to design this, and then I have to prototype it, and then I have to print it, and then I have to print enough of them so it is a process. Unfortunately, we're not magical elves living in a hollow tree.
So is it okay if we give them a little sneak peek of some of the other stuff that you've been working on?
Absolutely.
And you pick, you're the one looking at your prototypes, what's going to show best on the camera, but grab one of those boxes and let's give them a little sneak peek of the new gold medal 3D ship parts line.
Okay. So let's see here. We have got 20 millimeter guns.
There you go.
We've got a variety of 20 millimeter guns, and these are in the new packaging. Anybody who builds ships knows that 20 millimeter guns are just a royal pain, because they're just so tiny. So ours are pretty straightforward. Couple of snips, one at the barrel, two supports at the bottom of the gun shield, and then one at the pedestal base. The whole thing comes off in one piece and you glue it to the deck. Done. This one, I don't know. I'm hoping that it shows up really well. Another problem that at least American ship modelers have are Mark 37 fire control directors. Now, for those of you who are not ship guys, those are those gun turret looking things that sit up on the top of the ship that have the radar screen on it. And it's usually in the shape of a hastily drawn 3, double. So those have always historically been done in photo etch. They are extremely tedious. You got to have surgeon hands to do them. Well, we've managed to do them all as a single piece. So no more messing around with photo etch. And although you can't see it in this particular, with this camera, the grid work in the radar screen is actually there. There's actually holes in the radar screen, and
it looks like 3D printed photo etch. It
looks like 3D printed photo etch without all of the 3D printed photo etch hassles.
Yep. Well, Jeff, pull that back up, because obviously the parts that you design are going to be great, but I'm interested to know about this box you're holding.
Oh, so the box, this is really kind of cool. This is another one of my little brain children. So when, let's see, do I have a, well, we'll just do it with one of these boxes over here.
Yes, considering we have the we have the shipping department and the warranty department and the customer service department over here on our end of the woods. This is important to us.
Right. So these boxes are all standard size. As you can see, there's 20 millimeter guns. And then obviously we're using the same box design for the Mark 37 fire control directors. Well, in order to get to these parts, this box is it's designed to be put into the plastic container without any additional packaging. A label goes on the inside and it gives you the finished product, but that's how it looks without the label. So when you get the box, and this is kind of cool, there are cut marks with instructions on the top, and you make a simple cut there, and you make a simple cut there, and then this whole part then just snaps out, and it gives you access to cut the parts off the build plate. So we'll do it again on the other side there. And now you have full access to the parts. And if you only use a portion of the parts, you can still put it back in the box and you don't have to worry about crushing the parts.
So, like I said, coming from the customer service department over here, it's going to be very nice, because the worst thing is when we ship something, considering how fragile the 3D printed parts are, especially when you get down to these smaller scales, inevitably things break. And,
yeah,
this does not make us immune from things breaking, but we're going to every level of, what we can do to hopefully get these parts to you guys in one piece.
And here's something else that I have always done, and with Brandon's blessing, I will continue to do. If you get a box and it says includes 36 per package, you don't get 36, you get 40. And the reason for that is 3D
or
print,
39 or 41 or whatever. You get something more than is stated.
3D printing is not a perfect science. And inevitably, you might have fat fingers and you break something. So for what it's worth, we always try to throw in a couple of extra spares just so that you are getting more than if there's something wrong.
Yeah. Now, I will throw this caveat in what you're saying, Jeff. He is mostly referring to very small things like 20s. Your directors, when it says 4, you get 4. That's a big old thing. If when we start selling big battleship turrets and we say you're getting 4, you're getting 4.
Yeah.
But this really, really tiny stuff that the carpet monster really likes to eat, throwing some extras in there is just just nice.
So we've got
Russell says, how about just a baker's dozen?
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got a whole variety of different fire control directors with Mark 4, Mark 12, and Mark 12-22 radar arrays. We got 3 different types of directors.
You got all sorts of stuff. If you start going down the whole list, we're going to be here all night.
Mark 37 Mod 4, Mark 37 Mod 11, and Mark 37 Mod 17. So 3 different director chassis with 3 or 4 different radar configurations. The 20 millimeters are going to have open sights, the ring gun sight, and then of course the Mark 14 computing sights. Those are all coming. And then I just did them today. They're actually on the printer now. We have 3 different versions of 5-inch 38 turrets for Gearing and Sumner, which is the Mark 38, the Mark 28 heavy mount for all your fast battleships. So South Dakotas, North Carolinas, and Iowa class. And then Mark 32 mounts, which were used on Atlanta class cruisers, Essex class carriers, and all of the refit, Pearl Harbor refit battleships.
Oh, so for this.
Yes.
There you go.
That is, though that particular ship will use Mark 32 mounts. And I've tooled the barrels because some guys like them flat and some guys like the guns elevated. So the barrel part is actually got an angle piece in the back. So when you insert the barrel and the trunnion into the mount, you can, it kind of, I don't want to say it locks, but
Yeah.
it rests in place at
good.
a prescribed angle. And then the Mark 38 mounts will also come with a set of barrels that have blast bags attached to them.
Heck yeah.
So,
well, you guys are going to be able to see all this and hopefully more at the Nationals in 2 weeks.
I don't know how much more I can do.
Well, there's a lot more that we hadn't even talked about that I know already exists. So,
yeah.
No, it's going to be good. I really hope that you guys can come to the show. I know that we've been talking about it a bunch, but it's exciting. And if you've ever been to the Nationals, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but if you've not been to it, you got to come check it out. It's very cool. The guys that usually the clubs that are putting these shows on, I know the guy last year. Obviously, I knew Jeff and his guys. This year, Tom and Charles and the rest of their gang, they're really good guys. It's a really good club. They're going to put on an excellent show, and we're gonna show up and we're gonna show out, or we're gonna try to anyway. It's funny, we talk about bringing an entire tractor trailer load full of stuff, and we do. We literally bring a tractor trailer truck full of product. Well, just this week we decided, Jeff, I don't know if I've even told you this yet. We joked about it a few weeks ago. We decided that's not enough. So we're going to bring a 20-foot race trailer also.
Perfect.
So we're just going to have a massive amount of goodies for you guys to look at. Literally thousands of model kits, thousands of accessories. I don't know how many books, but we're bringing books. We're bringing, we're going to have all of our paint. And Jeff, you don't even know this, but we're bringing Tamiya paint as well. Can't go wrong with Tamiya, right? So we're going to have Tamiya's paint. We'll have ICM's paint, of course. Just all sorts of stuff that we're going to have there in our booth. And we've got a massive section. We're going to turn it in hopefully to what's going to be the Squadron shop, as we call it when we go to these big shows. We're even bringing our 2 arcade games, so you can come by and play Pac-Man or Galaga while you hang out and while you shop. So it's really going to be fun. We're really looking forward to it. I really hope that you guys are able to join us there.
I see something in the chat that kind of brings a point here that I want to address, and I'll put it up. How am I to know what I need of the things that you are making? Not everyone that makes ships went to Annapolis. Well, guess what, Dave? I didn't go to Annapolis either.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly didn't.
It's
a good point.
If I did, I'd be a CEO of some defense contractor in DC somewhere.
Well, even if you did, you probably still wouldn't know what you need for every single ship model that you might want to build.
So what happens with this process? If I decide that I'm going to make a 20 millimeter Mark IV Mod 0 with a Type 1 gun shield, I give you a picture of that, and then you look at your photograph of whatever ship that you're going to build, or you look at what's in the kit, and you can compare it. And if we produce something that matches and it is an improvement over a kit part, you're golden. The worst case scenario is if you don't know and you're building a project like an aircraft carrier or a battleship, you can email us, you can call us.
Yeah.
There is an extreme wealth of knowledge in this community, and Stephen Cole and Ron Smith and Jim Alsop and Ed Grun. These are some of the most prolific ship and naval historians in the country, and in some instances the world. We're not just guys that are pulling rabbits out of our backsides to make this stuff happen.
And the cool thing about this hobby is, for the most part, we all want to help each other.
Absolutely. So if you have a question like that, don't hesitate to drop us an email. info@squadron.com. You can also ask the question. If you want a more rapid answer, you can ask the question on the Squadron
That's
Facebook
what I
page,
was fixing to say. Yeah.
and chances are someone other than myself will see it and give you that information.
Jeff, and you were talking about 20s, and most of the kit manufacturers, for the most part, a 20 millimeter is a 20 millimeter.
Correct.
Heck, for myself included, a lot of times that's good enough.
Right.
But if you want to get crazy and really, really go after a specific picture, a specific time, you told me, Jeff, and I didn't know this. I'm learning this stuff right along with everybody else, right? So you told me that even like on the Iowa class battleships, there were different styles of 20 millimeter guns mounted to the same ship at certain times.
Correct.
And so if you really want to get specific about, we've got 20 or 30 different types of 20s that we're going to produce. Doesn't necessarily mean you got to use them.
No.
But if you've got a picture of that Iowa and you notice that 2 or 3 of those 20s all look different and you want to do that, we can help you do that. Doesn't mean you have to, but you can.
What I find, and I have found this, I found it with tank tracks, I found it with paint colors, and I found it with even the books that I've written, that there is a large percentage of modelers out there who, I need a 20 millimeter gun. They put a 20 millimeter gun. That makes up the largest portion of our hobby.
Right.
And then those are the people that I never hear from. The ones who yell and scream at me are the ones who need or demand 28 different versions of the 20 millimeter gun because we don't have, or I didn't have their specific, variant that they were looking for. So the beauty of 3D design is that I can produce all 30 versions. And if you find the one you want, great. If you don't know what you want, ask, I'll tell you.
Well, I have a very good analogy for you, Jeff. Just because we make it doesn't mean you have to use it. And we have the perfect paint color for that. And you know what it is.
Mountbatten pink.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ron.
Oh, man. So like I said, with plastic kits, these companies, they're tooling up these plastic injection molds that are literally thousands of dollars for a tiny little 20 millimeter gun. And take Trumpeter, for example. They've got hundreds of ship models. They don't want to spend hundreds times thousands to get every single little bitty variant. So they're going to do a 20 millimeter and it's going to be good enough. The beauty, like Jeff said, with 3D design, we can do it. Of those 30 20 millimeter guns, I bet you there's a dozen or less of them that are actually going to be good, consistent sellers. A few of them, we might sell a couple a month. But it's once Jeff has the base design down, it's only a little bit of extra time to make those modifications to offer it because there might be one guy out there that needs whatever this is. So we'll have a lot of stuff. And just like the paint and the website and, going back to the beginning of the show, the Star Wars colors, we got to, Matt, tell you which Star Wars color equals which flocal color. We're going to get to it at some point. And the same thing will be like the 20s. At some point, we'll be able to post that information as time permits. So,
yeah. And, I know there's some guys here. I mean, Ed Grun's one of them. Ron Smith is another one. They're going to call me up and say, I need a Mark 6 mount with a Mark 14 gun sight and a Type 3 rounded gun shield for this specific ship. And how cool is it for me to say, yeah, we got that. Here it is. There's the SKU. You're good to go.
Yeah. And with 3D, you can make one. We literally can make one with plastic injection, and even with traditional resin casting. You do a mold, you got to make a lot of them. So
exactly.
Well, cool, Jeff. This has been great. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night, I suppose. Chris is here. Hey, Chris, how are you, buddy?
You're going to wrap it up. I got something I got to work on.
Yeah, Chris is joking me about my 40 behind me. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Who was it? Jason was asking for in the box. There's you a small in the box picture of the Razorback.
I've got the cockpit done. and I'm ready to put the fuselage halves together.
Yep.
And the cockpit was absolutely amazing. They have the seatbelt harness actually molded onto the seat, but
Nice.
when you paint it, it really holds up well.
Okay.
It looks great. And just dry fitting these two fuselage halves together, this kit fits as well as any kit that I've built.
Well, good deal. Well, I'm looking forward to getting these in everybody's hands 2 weeks away, and you
Yep.
too can have one. So this is going to be great.
This one's yours, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks. How you gonna paint it for me?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking Yankee Tar Heel, but I'd probably lose my job if I didn't do it as Georgia Peach.
Well, hey, they're both on the box, so
Yeah. I'm just busting
whatever
your
it turns out, right?
Yep.
Oh man. Veritas says, are there Squadron coffee cups on the site? There are not.
Yeah.
But there will be soon. We got a whole bunch of them. We got like, I don't know, 5 or 10 different versions, and they'll be on the table at Nationals. And then whatever we bring home with us, we'll put on the website. So
some of your older modelers will remember. You remember the Calgon commercials? You're probably too young to remember it. I know Russ will remember it. And it was a Calgon bath soap commercial, and the woman's running around, and the kids are screaming, and the dog is barking, and the mailman's banging on the door, and she's just losing her mind.
okay.
And the slogan is Calgon, take me away. That's kind of where we are right now, because I don't know about you, but I've got printers beeping, and I've got design work going, and I've got paint going, and I've got a model kit, 2 model kits that have to be built. See, we're showing our age here. Everybody recognizes the tagline. So yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about all of these wonderful things that we're doing, and I think your fault and my fault is that we both get so excited about it, and we tell everybody, and then we realize there's a lot of work that goes into making each and every one of these things happen.
We've gotten better though. I mean, I've got 2 actual model kits, full model kits over here that we're going to be releasing at Nationals that nobody knows about. It's like I got to end the show before I give it away. I want to tell everybody, but we're getting better at keeping the cat in the bag until we're actually ready, right?
Yeah,
we're getting better. We're not great, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to take a vacation myself here at some point.
There you go. Well, all this work, 2 weeks from now, everybody will get to see it, and it'll be cool. And I'm looking forward to it.
Come and see us at the Squadron booth. You won't miss us. We're the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Absolutely.
We look forward to seeing everyone. And I will ask a personal favor if you do come and see us. If we're running around in our Calgon take me away moment, because we're packed to the wall with customers, please don't think we're trying to be rude. We want to sit and talk to you. But
and interrupt us, say hello, or come right back. A lot of times guys email me after the show and say, hey, I wanted to say hello, but you look too busy. I probably am too busy, but please grab me, tap me on the shoulder, say hello, shake my hand, do something, because I do want to see everybody. I want to say hello to everybody. So please don't feel like you can't bother me so that I can meet you and say hello.
Absolutely. Same here.
All right. Well, Jeff, I appreciate you being here. I'll see you next week.
All righty.
All right, buddy.
I don't know. Next week we're gonna be in Calgon mode again.
We are, but we'll pop in, or I'll pop in. You might be in. I might. I don't know. Whatever. We'll say hello.
Well, maybe I'll have some new additional things to show off in the ship line.
All right. Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Well, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening, a good week. I've got all this stuff. There's even more. So I'll bring some more stuff with me next week. We've got more shipments that are arriving later this week, tomorrow and Friday, and into next week. Like those P40Ns are going to be here. It's just going to be so cool seeing all this stuff. We've been going so long now without getting much new, and now we're just getting it hand over fist. So it's a really, really good time right now for us, so we can offer these things to you. So just check out the website, see what's coming in new. I'll send another email out probably Friday to everybody, just giving you a little bit more update on what's come in. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Y'all take it easy.